Troops rescue 31 kidnapped victims in Sokoto. Governor Fintiri Adamawa CP condemned police headquarters attack, call for calm. And court grants former CBN Governor Emefiele 300 million naira bail. And under foreign sin, Israel-Hamas agree 4-day truce, 50 hostages to go free. Hello and welcome to News Update and Trust TV. My name is Chiamaka Nendu. Thank you for joining us. And troops of the North Task Force Northwest Operation Hendarin Daji have rescued 31 kidnapped victims in Sokoto State. And this followed a series of clearance operations by the task force at the terrorist enclaves in its areas of operations in the Northwest. In a statement made available on Wednesday in Gusau, the spokesperson for Operations Hendarin Daji, Captain Yahaya Ibrahim, said the troops in a recent clearance operation conducted on Tuesday in the Tangaza local government area of Sokoto State cleared Alia Fulani village and Buani forest, where 30 kidnapped persons were rescued. And he added that all bandits' hideouts discovered by the troops were destroyed as the terrorists abandoned their captives and fled from their camps before the arrival of aggressive troops. The troops also proceeded to Goboro village, where one person kidnapped victim was rescued. And one of the 5 kidnapped female students of the Federal University Dutsinima Castina State has been rescued by the State Police Command. And the rescue followed an operation by the police on Monday, according to the police spokesperson. The ASP Abubakar Liu, in a statement issued on Tuesday, the victim, whose identity was withheld for security reasons, was rescued in Bilbis village of neighboring Zamfara state. And he restated the commitment of the command to employ available resources to ensure the rescue of the remaining 4 kidnapped victims. And on November 4th, 2023, 5 female students of the university were abducted by suspected terrorists, with police confirming the arrest of one suspect in connection with the incident. And the victims were said to have been kidnapped in their residence behind Maria Mo Ajeri Memorial International School along Taskia Road, Castina. And barely 48 hours after gunmen abducted the father of the vice chairman of Kwali Area Council of the FCT alongside 6 others in Yewutu village in Kwali, 8 women were again abducted on a farm in Wombe village in Gugwada Chiefdom in Kujay Area Council of the territory. A resident of Gugwada, Usman Yakubu, said the incident happened on Monday, where he said the women were harvesting Beni seeds when the gunmen wielding AK-47 rifles appeared and surrounded them. A chief from a village in the chiefdom who preferred anonymity confirmed the abduction and said 4 among the women are one home. The FCT Police Command is yet to issue a statement on the incident. And the Commissioner of Police in Adamawa State, Afolabi Babatola, has strongly condemned the recent conflict between some police and military officers at the Target Junction in Yola North local government area, which resulted in an exchange of fire and brutal attack on the police facility that led to the death of Inspector Jacob Daniel. The CP has therefore ordered an immediate investigation into the matter to ensure justice is served and peace is restored. In a statement made available to the newsmen, the CP assured of the command's commitment to protecting the lives and property of citizens. He said the importance of collaboration between sister security agencies was also highlighted in safeguarding the fundamental rights of security operatives, which would enable them to fulfill their sacred duty of serving and protecting the public. The police boss called for calm, assuring the public that the top management of both security agencies is working to address the situation in a legal and judicious manner. He also warned that the attacks on security officers in the line of duty will no longer be tolerated under any guise, adding that any unwarranted conflict will be dealt with in accordance with the extant laws. And in the meantime, the Adamawa State Governor, Umaru Fintiri, has called on the people of the state to remain calm and go about their businesses, describing Tuesday night's gunshot in Yola, the Adamawa State capital, as unfortunate. And this was contained in a statement made available to newsmen on Wednesday by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Humwashi Wunusiku. And according to the statement, the Governor appealed for tolerance among security agencies, describing the incident as unacceptable at a time of peace building. And while regretting the ugly incident that led to the clash between the soldiers and the police, Governor Fintiri disclosed that government is on top of the situation and appealed to the parties to exercise restraint in the overall peace of the state. And he urged all security personnel on special assignment to remain at their duty posts and conduct themselves with high sense of maturity. And earlier in Yola-based journalist Hindi Livinus gave us an update. Take a listen.
Yesterday at about midnight, the residents of Yola were awoken to sporadic gunshots, which is reminiscent of trauma many of them faced at the height of the insurgency. So many residents were all like had to go to bed with bated eyes. And so the context of it was that there was a military personnel who was on pass from Jalingo, 6th Brigade. So he came to a checkpoint, a search and stop checkpoint mounted at Target Junction in Yola, the state capital. So somehow they had an altercation with some of the policemen on that checkpoint. I just finished speaking with the military command. I spoke with the brigade commander. He's right now at the hospital to see the military officer that was shot. But the incident was actually was more like the military said that the actions of the police defied interagency cooperation. That when the soldier was shot at the police checkpoint, rather than resort to the military and then get their attention to hand him over, that they kept the policeman in hiding. So what the military did was they sent a detachment of military personnel who went around some hospitals at midnight yesterday, but couldn't find the soldier. But on getting to the police headquarters, they said they were confronted with, open fire from security men who were guiding the police command. That was actually what led to the melee that has caused some kind of concern among residents, and to which the government has actually appealed for calm.
The Kano State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Haruna Issa Dederi, says the certified copy of Appeal Court's judgment on Kano State governorship election has affirmed the victory of Abba Kabiru Yusuf as duly elected governor of Kano State. Issa Dederi made the disclosure while addressing a news conference on Tuesday night. And he said in a fresh revelation, as indicated in the written judgment, the Court of Appeal set aside the judgment of the Kano Election Petition Tribunal for lacking in merit. The three-member panel of the Appeal Court on Friday, the 17th of November 2023, had dismissed the appeal filed by Governor Yusuf on the basis of his membership status. The Appellate Court subsequently affirmed Nasiru Gawuna of the All Progressives Congress (APC) as winner of March 25, 2023 election in Kano State. And Dederi, however, said that page 67 of the certified copy of the judgment clearly indicated that the tribunal's ruling that sacked Governor Yusuf was set aside. And Daily Trust Judiciary correspondent John Chooks, who gave us an insight on Kano's CTC judgment's controversy. Take a listen.
The certified true copies of a court's decision are usually copies that have been endorsed. That's after, usually when cases are brought before the court goes through the argument of both sides. which will include applications, motions, and processes. And then the court also looks at the adumbration. So during the adumbration process, the parties are arguing. They're actually canvassing their points. And the court will also take note of those points. So in arriving at decisions, the court will combine what were filed and the line of the canvas, the argument, and combine it to arrive at this decision based on the facts. And usually the court may read out a portion of his decision and then ask the parties to apply for certified true copies. Those certified true copies, by law, they are supposed to be made available within 7 days after the judgment. And the process nowadays is faster, but I think 7 days is a required time in law. So within that period, the court passes on its judgment to the administrative department, the secretariat. They will type it, they will bring it to the judge or the justices. They will go through it, and if there are corrections, usually that within that process that corrections are made before they are then certified. By certifying is that you are signing, cross-signing, and stamping on the relevant pages, and then endorsed, signed, and then handed over to the parties upon payment of the prescribed certification fees. That becomes authentic document that can be utilized for purposes of enforcement or for purposes of appeal if any of the parties affected are not satisfied. So I do believe that in the instant case, the Kano State governorship election, these were the processes that took place. The parties filed all the documentations, the motions, applications, and raised issues that were also counter-argued and counter-filed against. And at the end of the day, the court having listened to both sides and studied their arguments and their submissions, the court then made a determination. Now, most of the times, the certified true copies are the true representation of what the judges say. In most instances, that should be the true representation of what the judges intended to achieve in their decision.
The appeal court sitting in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, has fixed Thursday, November the 23rd for the much-awaited judgment in the Nasarawa State governorship election dispute between Governor Abdullahi Sule of the All Progressives Congress and David Omugadu of the People's Democratic Party. A serve of appeal sent by the election desk officer Nasiru Al-Hassan on Wednesday in Lafia said judgment notice between Governor Abdullahi Sule, Emmanuel David Ombugadu, and 3 others comes up at 9:00 a.m. The court had a November the 15th reserved judgment in the appeal by the Governor Sule, who is challenging the removal by the governorship election petition tribunal sitting in Lafia, the state capital. And reports say only 10 political parties supporters from each of the contending parties will be allowed to enter the premises of the appeal court. And former President Olusegun Obasanjo has faulted the verdict of Nigerian judges on electoral disputes, saying 3 to 5 judges should not overturn decisions made by millions of voters during an election. And Obasanjo described the powers vested in the hands of a few judges as totally unacceptable. The former president spoke in the wake of ongoing judgment of the Court of Appeal on electoral disputes arising from the 2023 elections in Nigeria. And speaking at the high-level consultation on rethinking Western liberal democracy in Africa held at Green Resort Legacy, the former president, Presidential Library in Abeokuta, Ogun State, Obasanjo faulted what he labeled as cathedral pronouncements by the judges.
Adam has talked about credibility of elections. And a few people have also talked about that, and we know. But I think I brought it out in my own introductory note. One of the things that I believe, whatever form of democracy we have, or whatever system of government we have, 3 or 4 men in the judiciary should not be able to overturn the decisions of millions that have been taken. Now we have to find a way out of that. I don't know what the way will be, but for me, I believe it's utterly unacceptable.
And Justice Hamza Muazu of the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Abuja, has granted the immediate past governor of the Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele, bail in the sum of 300 million naira and 2 sureties in the like sum. The sureties, according to the bail conditions, must have certificate of occupancy and titles of properties within the Maitama district. Emefiele is mandated to deposit all his travel documents with the registrar of the court and must remain within the Abuja Municipal Council. He is also expected to remain in the Kuje Correctional Center pending when he meets the bail conditions. Emefiele was absent on Wednesday morning for the ruling on his bail application. And his lawyer, Matthew Boka, however, said it was normal as he is already at the Kuje Correctional Center. And this comes 4 months after the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos had granted him bail in the sum of 20 million naira. And you're still watching News Update on Trust TV. Still to come. Tanker drivers urge federal government to rehabilitate major highways. And more news when we return. Do stay tuned.
Human beings know what is right. If they don't want to do what is right, they will give you 1,001 reasons why they are doing the wrong things.
They see themselves as conquerors, and other people have been conquered.
When the opposition and the press keep parroting that phrase, government has failed, but we will not be here, hold on, we will not be here, sitting down here, if government has failed.
There has been almost total collapse of the security outfit, and the terrorists are taking advantage of this.
On that, a country that has about 923 square kilometers of arable land, not more than 2.5% has been cultivated.
Of course, you, the Nigerian citizen, will also have your say via our phone-in numbers on your screen.
The issue of appointment in Nigeria has become more political than doing the right thing for the country.
Welcome back, and this is still News Update on Trust TV. Now a recap of our major stories. Troops rescue 31 kidnapped victims in Sokoto. And Governor Fintiri of Adamawa State and CP of Adamawa State condemn police headquarters attack and call for calm. And moving on, estate developers and residents of the nation's capital, Abuja, have expressed displeasure with the rising costs allocated for the issuance of certificate of occupancy in the Federal Capital Territory. And they made their displeasure known at an interactive session with the FCT Minister Nyesa Wike in Abuja. Habibat Hajayi has more.
Barely 2 weeks after the FCT Minister inaugurated task force on the issuance of certificates of occupancy for mass housing development and recovery of land use conservation fees in the FCT, a sum of 5 million naira was pegged for issuing of C of O within a 1-month period. To this end, residents and estate developers have appealed for a reduction in price. On the other hand, an extension of the 1-month ultimatum.
We are going to know that this has mentioned that infrastructure will be extended to us. Because the way it is now, we do our road by ourselves, we do our water, we do our land. Yes. Having said that, for the look of things, I guess we cannot grant anywhere to the minister on this issue of 5 million.
There are individuals that have purchased property into these estates. Some of these developers will sell property after acquiring from government, so individuals buy into their properties. We find it very difficult, Your Honourable Minister, and I'm very sure your committee will be telling you this. Very difficult to even when they want to collect money, and even government agencies have done that to us. We'll be bringing this issue to your table if you only tell us because it's serious. Government agency will use the name of federal government of Nigeria and make an advertisement to the general public. And some of us will go into this process of this party because of the name of the federal government that they carry in this advert. And we buy into such property.
Responding to their demands, the minister promised to extend the ultimatum to 3 months and also unveil plans to restructure the FCT.
If you're under rent, we can't give you a CFO. Rather, we collect CFO from the man who owns the property. So that you differentiate. On rent, we cannot issue the owner of the property. But on purchase, you are the owner of the property. So many people have entered the wrong hands. I have told you this year before. So many people are victims. So many people wanted to go and do this show on our behalf. I told you we refused. I have spoken to you, and I thought I've done the right thing to meet you. You have spoken to me. I've added 1 month. You have spoken to me. I've made amendments here. I can't make amendments in every field.
He urged residents to ensure that they operate in tandem with the Federal Capital Territory's master plan to enable them enjoy all the city has to offer to the fullest. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And at least 17 people were killed in an auto crash on Tuesday at Takalafia village on Yaburi Expressway in Magama local government area of Niger State. The FRSC Public Education Officer BC Kazim confirmed the accident in a statement which he issued in Abuja. And Kazim explained that the accident occurred at about 3:00 a.m., adding that it involved 229 people comprising 220 male adults, 4 female adults and 5 male children. According to him, the crash involved a DAF articulated vehicle engaged in speed violation resulting in loss of control. And Kazim said that 206 male adults, 1 female adult and 1 male child were rescued, but had different degrees of injuries. And tanker drivers have called on the federal government to focus on total rehabilitation of its major highways to ensure ease in the movement of goods across the country. And veteran tanker drivers Ayoade Moses and Suleiman Adediran made the call while speaking to Trust TV at the Lagos-Ibadan toll gate. The report.
While lamenting the spate of bad roads in the country, they noted that such roads not only slow the movement of goods and inflammable products, but also cause auto crashes across the nation.
We are facing too much challenges because the road is not good at all. It's not good at all. Even though there's some of accident is happen, so the bad road is causing it.
The road is very bad. From Oyo State here to Jeba, it's not good. From Jeba to Bida, it's not fair.
A Kano-based tanker driver and member of the Federal Inland Authority, Suleiman Abdurrahman, said the roads from Oyo, Ilorin to Kano prolong their journeys due to their bad nature and called for measures to be put in place to guarantee the safety of lives and properties on the highway.
Well, we are facing a lot of challenges. Both tanker drivers, both truck drivers, in fact, they are facing a lot of challenges on this road, especially from Ibadan to Ilorin to Jeba, going to the northern side. We are facing a lot of challenges because the whole road has been dilapidated.
We beg government to do the road for us. When the road is good, so they will carry food, come to our place where we will go and buy.
It's plenty. So there are many areas that government help the people. So because when they are trying to do the road, so it's very easy for the tanker move here and there. There's no more accident. So it will help the people and save the life of the people safe.
A national trustee of the Petroleum Tanker Drivers Branch of the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, Salmon Oladiti, warned that many fuel distributing companies could go out of business due to the worsening state of Nigerian roads, which, if left unattended to, could widen the unemployment gap. Oladiti raised alarm over the inability of tanker drivers to deliver products across the country, a situation which, according to him, has further worsened the scarcity of petroleum products with adverse effect on the lives of many Nigerians.
If you pass through Benin Wari or Benin Ukini Lokoja, that area is worst, not worse, worst. Olombo, between Wari and Benin, our tanker spent a week.
He urged the federal government to immediately put in place a viable framework to address Nigeria's road infrastructure deficit.
Away from Nigeria, Israel and Hamas on Wednesday agreed to a ceasefire in Gaza for at least 4 days to let in aid and release at least 50 hostages captured by militants in exchange for at least 150 Palestinians jailed in Israel. The first truce in a brutal, near 7-week-old war reached after mediation by Qatar was hailed around the world as a sign of progress that could ease the suffering of Gaza civilians and bring more Israeli hostages home. And Israel said the ceasefire could be extended further as long as more hostages were freed. And Hamas and allies groups captured around 240 hostages when gunmen rampaged through southern Israeli towns on the 7th of October. And previously, Hamas had released just 4, where the truce was not expected to begin until Thursday morning. And the start time had yet to be officially announced as of early afternoon on Wednesday. A statement by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office on Tuesday night said 50 women and children could be released over 4 days at the rate of at least 10 per day. And beyond that, the truce could be extended as long as an additional 10 hostages were freed per day. And meanwhile, the United Nations has welcomed the deal between Israel and Hamas to free hostages and pause the fighting and bombardment in Gaza, but said much more needed to be done. And the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres described the move as an important step in the right direction. And with that, we've come to the end of the news. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live streams for more programs and documentary. My name is Chiamaka Nendu. Thank you for watching.